Hey, I want to follow up with that video about here at Logan Martin. Now, the point I'm trying to drive home here is that it was private industry, private money, developers, banks that chose to come down here and spend the money on these roads, take a chance down here, put this development in here. Now everybody knows that a lake is going to draw people to it. This is like a no-brainer. Waterfront properties, pretty much always a good investment. I mean, it can be overpriced. You can get in when it's too hot and end up in a problem, and some end up in a problem and somehow. But it's not a no-brainer. I mean, it's a no-brainer to understand that why people are attracted to waterfront properties. The part that I want to drive home is there's no government regulation that caused this. This was business people understanding human behavior and then working toward that. Understanding where this property falls into human behavior. And waterfront property is an easy one to guess at. What's a little harder to guess at is creating jobs. You hear government people talk about job creation, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. But I'm going to create jobs if I have my way about it. Understand, I'm not going in there as a dictator. But I'm going to create jobs by relaxing some zoning ordinances in the county. Again, there's no zoning and no building codes up here. I guess these are $1 million homes. We have zoning and building codes in every municipality in the county on the western side of town. And you're not getting anything like this. But if you go down there and you talk to the municipalities and go speak to Jimmy Stevens, they're going to act like the key to great development is zoning and building codes. And just look around. Understand that's not the key to it. And you'll hear me starting to get a little bit aggravated because whereas people out here working every day and sort of doing all we can to pay the bills, sometimes we don't understand this completely. But somebody in Jimmy Stevens' situation should understand this. And he went down there the other day about that landfill, and he pretty much told them people that invested $23 million and got 25 people down there working, the only development that's come to that end of town. And he pretty much promised the community down there that he's going to shut them down. And I guess Jimmy thinks he's got a better idea for that land use over there. And that's what it comes down to, is the zoning ordinance over there at the where they're offloading that stuff. And it's supposed to be for wood chips and pulpwood or something. But there's not any wood chips or pulpwood coming in down there. That industry's gone. That doesn't mean that you let a company just run over the community. It does mean you ask them, hey, can we come to an agreement? Let's restrict the movement of this stuff during the hottest months of the year. Can we haul this stuff at night? Is there a deodorizer that we can have put on that? Can you pass that on to the people that's paying you? But none of that. Jimmy Stevens puts himself out as a Republican, but he ain't nothing but a Democrat. I'm just going to tell you. I've been around long enough to. He's a Democrat. And he thinks he knows better about land use than that company down there. And that's out in the middle of the strip pit. It's never going to be a lake community. It is a couple of miles, easy as the crow flies, from what I've seen from West Jefferson. I'm not telling you that it's 10 miles away, but they can't do anything to that company about where they're dumping it at. That's what I understand. The zoning is allowed to dump it on that strip pit. Jimmy's trying to shut that strip pit down on that landfill, but up there where they're offloaded on a rail yard. In other words, he's just trying to cut the business off altogether. It was just a mess. But if I'm trying to say this correctly, but if your city leaders or your county leaders, and if this keeps you from voting for me, this is just who I am. This is what it's going to be, and this may be where we draw the line today. Now, from here on, you'll know where I stand. If your city leaders, your county leaders, are stupid enough to think that zoning and building codes is what keeps a community up, you probably need to get you some new city leaders and community leaders. That's why I'm running against Jimmy Stevens. I know what makes a great community, and it's earnings. People making good money, desiring a great lifestyle, and that was what I was going to tell you a while ago. Jimmy alienated that company down there by telling the people down there in that community that company's down there doing that for profits, and that the county does it with our sewer plants, but they do it for a service. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, that company's down there for profits. Just like the dump truck driver that's hauling the county's treated sludge. He's doing it for a payday. Yeah, Jimmy, that's what we work for. But what you've allowed to happen to District 3 is you've turned us into a government services financed area. Food stamps and welfare and government jobs instead of a community mostly influenced by private sector earnings. When we bring back the private sector earnings, we'll bring back District 3. And it's not going to be zoning or over-restrictive zoning and building codes that do that. It's going to be community planning if you're going to have the zoning and building codes. Without planning, you might as well take those zoning ordinances and those building codes and throw them out the window, because you're going to put your people in poverty. You want to make a good city planning department and be making a 10, 20, and 30-year plan, you can make your zoning work. We have zoning that's 30 or 40 years out of date, and we have no planning for District 3. Thank you.